One's a princess in blue, the other a devil in red. Both are played by a drunk chick who forgets she's in a movie. This is I Know Who Killed Me on Stinker Madness.
Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got the Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness. This is the story of a lady, or a couple of ladies, getting jiggy with it on stage-ish.
I guess.
I thought it was about a serial killer.
How are you, Jackie?
How are you, Jackie and Sam? I'm your host, Justin.
I'm Jackie, and I know who killed me.
Do ya?
Do ya?
Yeah, was that a good interpretation or what?
No, if you would have forgot the line halfway through and stared at the wall, it would have been spot on.
Oh, once again, I failed.
Yeah. I am also well. Actually, I'm fantastic, but not quite as good as my Guaranica Antarctica.
Guaranica Antarctica.
Yes.
What's that, Sam?
It is a refreshing taste of Brazil.
Oh.
Because here at Stinker Madness, we don't just introduce you to fine films, we also introduce you to the taste of the world.
Oh, when did we start doing that?
Tonight. And next week is fish balls.
Fish? What's fish balls?
We can get fish balls that aren't cuttlefish balls since we stopped eating super intelligent creatures at the Stinker Madness.
Oh, you mean, so not a drink. Actual balls made of fish.
Made of fish, yes.
I see.
Yeah. They're also delicious.
They are delicious. Unless you eat too much.
The most exotic thing I've had lately is Fanta.
Not very exotic.
I thought that was from Mexico.
No,
Well, yeah.
It's from Germany.
Oh.
They invented it because they couldn't get Coke anymore during World War II. That's where Fanta came from.
Oh, thanks for the history lesson. See, this is a cultural show.
I Know Who Killed Me,
Tastes
starring
of the world.
Lindsey Lohan, who has tasted many a worlds, back worlds.
She gave up Fanta for cocaine when she was 6.
Yeah. Multi-Razzie winning film, 8 to be exact, including Worst Picture from the year 2007.
It was worst everything except somehow Julia Ormond got out from under.
Man, she stunk.
I was really thinking, halfway through I thought that she was the one that was the shining example of a Razzie until I kept noticing Lohan forget that she was in the movie.
Yeah, but
just
she was
over
drunk.
and over.
She was drunk and probably a little stoned and
Yeah, she did look
recently
stoned.
banged. So, what do you want from her?
I don't know.
Julia Ormond
was just doing a shitty job acting.
Who has been in such films as Legends of the Fall, some other things that were important in
We
the
know her
late
name.
90s. Yeah.
And she
was talked about
stunk.
at one point. She stunk. She acted like she had never, like this was her premiere.
That shit with the mirror was awful.
Oh, yeah, with the cat with the balls, and she's like resting the cat on her arm, and the balls are just kind of hanging off the side of her arm, and she's like crying and holding onto the cat and giving it pets.
It slowly zoomed in as she just started monologuing for like 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, about like, I remember when she was a young girl, and she used to care so much about life, and now she is not with us anymore. And she did not win the Razzie.
No.
No, she was crying because she couldn't even tell the police what her daughter was wearing that day before she left.
We should have looked up who she fucking lost to, because that's an achievement.
Yeah. Well, anyways, the Lohan. She
looks drunk when she shows up.
She's pretty drunk throughout the entire film. She's also, her character, should we just go ahead and spoil it? Because otherwise it's going to get real tricky to describe this film, I think.
Well, we could right now just say that it's a complete rip-off of Doppelganger and Body Double.
All right, fine. Well, Lindsey Lohan plays 2 roles in this movie. One is a crack whore stripper. The other is an English student, pianist, author,
Junior college kid.
No, she's in
shining
high school.
star. Are you
It is
sure?
No, she's in junior college, Sam.
A high school.
No, she's in junior college.
You guys argue about this shit every time.
Okay,
every time there's a high school or a junior college
prove
involved.
this because her future is so bright. If her future was that bright, how the hell did she end up in junior college?
Because
They
she was
say
a
it's high
fucking
school.
stupid movie.
Yeah, dude, she was in junior college.
No, it was a high school.
No, you looked that up.
It's a high school.
It's junior college.
No, we thought it was because it looks like, because they shot it at a college. That's why we think so. Because they couldn't get into a goddamn high school, so they just shot it at a college. It's supposed to be a goddamn high school.
You looked that up. Because I can guarantee that there is a a shot in that movie where they show blank blank junior college. And it's like during the football game when it's all slow-mo and she's got the blue rose and she's smelling it and she's in the stands and she blows a kiss to Johnny Football Hero.
Johnny Bang
Here's the deal.
Right before she disappears.
Someone wrote an entire 4-paragraph plot synopsis of this film, and they couldn't figure it out. So you know what? It just doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
argue. That's hard to say. She's a young girl.
She's a student. According to every synopsis that I'm looking
she's a
up
student.
here. She goes to a school, Jackie.
All right. Well, I could concede that yes, she goes to some school.
I think she was supposed to be a high school student, but they shot it at a goddamn junior
I don't
college.
think it fucking matters because I don't think that the writers or the director of the film even thought about that.
Oh, they didn't pay attention to anything.
Nothing.
The one thing I think that the goal of this film was to make it seem like they didn't shoot it in L.A., but this thing reeks of L.A. mentality.
Oh, absolutely.
It's L.A. without being L.A. The first thing you notice is this band comes up. And you know what L.A. has more than anything? A bunch of clone bands of whatever the fucking flavor of the month is, and they all suck. There's some good bands that have come from L.A., but if you go to L.A. right now, you can always go to a fucking nightclub somewhere, and there's one of these fucking bands that's almost good. And that's one of the things that I can peg that LA has more than anything is a million bands that aren't very good.
That are just clones of somebody
That
else.
everyone thinks is good. But
Yeah.
like, these guys are going to make it. Like, no, they're not. They suck.
Yeah.
You know what I really want to applaud about this movie is that they really incorporated who Lindsay Lohan really is by giving her the stripper role, because I'm pretty sure that when she's sitting in front of the stripper mirror before she goes on and she pops a handful of pills and swallows some bottle of booze, whatever was there, I'm pretty sure that's real. That's true to life. They were like, well, we can't stop her. Let's just put it in the movie.
Maybe not. Yeah, maybe that's a decent theory. Especially 2007 Lindsay Lohan. Almost, well, maybe not quite the peak of.
Is she even 18 at this point?
Yeah, she was born in 1986. We
and
looked
this
that
was
up. So she's 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's ready to go, man. She's full on party.
She's already
party
had
girl.
it.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's a horror movie, I guess. It's definitely not scary.
No.
But it's the story of a girl, a murderer, I guess, who enjoys hacking limbs off of young girls and
That have won the Young American Award.
spoilers.
Young artist competition.
That's the crime of the film, is that there's a guy out there who's just capturing teenage-ish girls and
We can't talk too much about
doing
this.
some things with their limbs and then letting them die.
They found one.
They found one, but it seems like there's a whole task force fucking involved. Like the FBI is involved, even though it doesn't go across state lines. There's just a huge amount of resources pooled to capturing this guy
In New Salem.
who has done. When all they've found is a body that's missing an arm and a leg.
And that drowned in the river. How do they know it wasn't a shark attack?
River shark.
Yeah. You know, like
Land
that.
shark.
You know,
Yeah.
I guess there's stupider things in this movie.
The alligator, he swam in. He's hanging out down there, and she just happened to get one arm and one leg on the one side chomped off.
And when she's going through the Universal tour,
Yeah.
don't stick your arm and your leg out of the tram. That rubber shark will fucking take them both off.
Yeah. Because they were like, dude, we can't afford another lawsuit. Let's just throw her in the river. That could have been totally plausible in this movie.
So Lindsay Lohan's character, who I guess we'll just say her first character is called Aubrey Fleming,
Aubrey Fleming.
is reading a story about a girl who can put herself in a movie, and that's how she sees her life.
Really? Now that's another one of those writing things.
Uh-huh.
How does she do that?
What do you mean?
She never does that. Like, she can put herself in a movie. No, it looks like she puts some vodka into herself, and then she kind of meanders around the stage half naked.
Yes, that is what
What
happens
point
on
does
screen,
she-
but I think in the script, I think you should table that question, because
Okay.
I have an answer
All right.
after the big reveal.
Big reveal.
So she's taking piano lessons. She seems to be decent. I mean, Lohan's not decent, but Aubrey Fleming's kind of decent at piano. She's doing Chopin, I think, mediocrely.
I think it was Rachmaninoff.
Yeah. And the piano guy's like, oh, you've made improvements. You can really have a chance at the young artist competition this year. I don't know if I should.
She already won the young artist.
I'm really tired of this. I think I'm going to quit. I've already won it before.
So at what point burning one question now.
Oh, I think this is the one to burn right here.
Don't you not go for it again?
I think it's a one-time deal.
It should be a one-time deal.
I don't even know what the young artist competition is.
It's like,
but just by the way it seems in the words that are used of its name, you can only get it one time.
The one time is like about it. And it'll lead to a question later. But it's like the Best New Artist Grammy.
Uh-huh. You
can't win it twice.
No, you cannot.
You just can't. If anybody would have, though, it would have been Kid Rock.
Oh.
I hate that guy.
I don't know. He didn't win it once, did he?
I don't know. The
Piece of
Grammys
shit.
are kind of bullshit.
No, because everybody that won it got like buried. You never heard from him again.
Yeah. So she's won that twice. So she's kind of a big deal on the piano. But she goes home and she's got a happy home life. Her parents love her. She's got a cat that has no hair and giant fucking testicles.
Testicles on the cat.
She drives a Lexus
This is more LA shit. The hairless cat.
Uh-huh.
Ugh.
with huge balls.
And the Lexus, Jackie brings up a good point, which the boys from Top Gear voted the SC430 the worst car ever made. And
They were all over LA.
all over LA.
Just
Those fucking dickheads down there.
had them all. Like
Yeah.
every one of them shipped to Los Angeles.
Yep, exactly. So she's got a cush LA lifestyle that doesn't take place in LA, but she's got a boyfriend named Jared who's
Is he?
who's in love with her.
He's not really her boyfriend. He's just
Isn't he?
he's
Yeah,
her
he's the
pursuer.
boyfriend. He's the boyfriend, Sam.
He's fondling her up in class and
Well, she's playing
confessing
coy.
his
She
love
says no.
and
Yeah, but she's no longer going to sleep with guys she doesn't care about.
Which doesn't mean that that's her boyfriend.
wait, Aubrey's not going to sleep with guys she doesn't care about anymore?
Yeah, that's what she tells her
That's what
friends.
she
So
says.
Aubrey was a hood rat as well before all this
Well,
goes down.
she apparently. Well, actually, it was brought into question by one of her other friends if she actually banged anybody.
Mm-hmm.
She just is talking big.
I don't think she has. By the rules of this film, I don't think that she just by the strength of character, her caliber,
Yeah.
this Aubrey Fleming, that she would not be sleeping around.
Yeah.
She might have got a little over the under the bra over the sweater action here and there, but who hasn't?
Well, she didn't like the getting felt up in science
It's
class.
in fucking class, man, and he's like honking her beef right there, and then, how about giving me some of that sweet steak on my hang down? I love you.
Yeah, that was so not romantic.
Apparently, I went to a different kind of science class. One where that shit was okay.
You went into a dark room where photography was supposed to get done, and that's
Came out
where
without
that,
any photos.
Yes, that's where that
Where's the
happened, but
pictures?
not just getting fondled right in the
Yeah.
middle of a crowded classroom.
Where's all the pictures? Yeah, none of them turned out.
Something turned out.
You guys are the worst photographers ever.
All these pictures just look like sand.
Yep.
Meanwhile, some girl's body's been found. She got chopped up alive. Her limbs are missing, and he kept her on ice and so
Drowned
he could
her.
keep her alive for as long as possible. Weeks. She was hacked up into
Something.
bits.
She was given mass amounts of amphetamines so that she would stay awake.
Yeah, so she felt every icky moment.
Yep.
And so now the FBI is on the scene. We gotta find them. Let's build a profile. This guy, he does it for punishment.
This is a different FBI, though. This FBI stands for fucking big idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They cannot
No,
do...
I'm pretty sure that's the same FBI.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to say that.
Oh.
No.
Wait, do you guys hear a helicopter right now?
They just come in and arrest the neighbors.
Yeah, through the window.
Yeah, way to prove us wrong, boys. Well, you're no ATF.
Indeed. So, back with Aubrey. Or is it Aubrey? So, this is where
I don't lose track of shit until
I lose track of this movie.
Was able to I got it, what they were trying. I figured it all out.
So she goes back to her house in her stupid fucking Lexus, and there's some wood chopper guy there who's throwing out the vibe pretty hard.
Yeah, the guy from Space Above and Beyond.
Who has a scorpion tattooed around one of his nipples.
I didn't know if it was a scorpion or if it was just some, splat.
No,
It was a splat tattoo on his nipple.
Glob of
I thought it
sexy
was a
wood guy.
scorpion, and he takes off his shirt on purpose.
Oh, he totally did that.
And
'Cause he's vibing it. He's like pointing at his nuts and like giving the
Yeah, in this
I'm gonna
movie-
eat your box.
Giving her the Fogel.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, in this movie, the guys are just not suave at all. They're not smooth. They're
She's kind of vibing it too, though, because she's like throwing her butt out there, and like the camera pans to her butt on purpose, and
Then she pulls her middle finger out of her back pocket.
yeah, gives him the bird. So is that Aubrey? Because that seems kind of like a
Yeah,
sassy Dakota move.
No, it's Aubrey.
That's Aubrey.
They don't really cross over.
Or do they?
No, they don't.
They don't.
They think they do.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so later that day, there's a football game. And Aubrey, after the game, Aubrey gets lost, and her friends are super fucking worried. Oh my god, we can't find her. Blah. Maybe she's with Jared. Blah. God, teenage girls are so dumb. So they go to her car, and there's a blue rose on the dash.
Inside the car.
Symbolism.
Yeah.
In her blue car.
Gonna lead
Her
to more
blue
questions
car,
later.
Blue rose.
And that's high school / junior college team is also wearing blue.
Blue. Was that about the worst movie football game you'd ever seen?
Oh, no, dude. I totally think that fucking one that everybody likes with the big fat guy that eats the syrup and it's like, high school football.
Varsity Blues?
Yes,
Yeah,
and
it's not a very
everybody's
good
like
movie.
a fucking professional, like Bo Jackson moves or plowing over everybody and like.
This was
Fuck,
really
fucking
inept,
hate
though.
that
Like,
movie.
they at least had plays, kind of. This was just, did you notice it was like cut, and then there would be two guys would just run into each other and fall over?
Yeah.
They weren't even playing football.
That's pretty much how high school football goes, Sam.
Yeah, it was all at the line of
Yeah,
scrimmage.
I think this is
There wasn't any
that's
passing.
a quibble compared to the rest of this film. So the Lohan Aubrey has been nabbed. She's been kidnapped, abducted by the killer. Let's name this guy. Is he just the blue stuff killer?
He's the blue plastic killer.
Yeah, because
He's got-
they don't have a name. They have a profile,
No, he's got
but
glass.
they don't name him.
He's the stained blue killer. Stained blue glass. That's kind of his thing. All the material, all of the weapons that he used were stained blue glass. There was a coffin made of stained blue glass. He had the stained blue flowers in his front door. He was all about the blue.
Blue Man group.
The one man blue man
Yeah,
group
group.
killer.
Yeah, and he
Yes.
also had a blue pantyhose over his head, so you can tell who the hell he was.
This guy's a real asshole.
So she gets her hand dry iced. Like
Oh,
and he pulls
dry
her-
iced and viced.
Yeah,
it
dry
was.
iced and viced.
Oh man,
Pulls it off and her hand's coming apart.
this was just ridiculous.
It
So
was really stupid. This
he
is
dry
really-
ices her hand in a vice
Right.
until it's dead.
Right. It is a dead hand.
And then he pulls the dry ice off and some skin comes off, and then she's like, eh, and it's like, you killed her hand. She can't feel that
It is
anymore.
an X hand.
It is an X hand.
It has ceased to be.
Yeah, that hand is dead.
It is no more.
It is smashed and frozen off.
Yes.
And now you're going to cut it off, and she doesn't like it at all.
Yeah. So, but
She
he
will
doesn't.
never pay piano again.
So back at the house, the police show up, or the FBI, and they're questioning the parents. And Julia Ormond gives her little monologue in the mirror that we talked about earlier. And
With the cat balls.
yeah,
The first thing they do is they take her father's computer.
that is right. They take her father's computer.
And why do they
For
do
clues.
that? What- Did you find any clues? No, but this guy likes some hot shit. This guy's porn is the best.
Monkeys banging Vietnamese women.
You just go through his
Yuck.
cache. This guy really looks up a lot of recipes for meatballs.
Oh, that is
It's
hot.
just really odd.
Yeah. So the killer, as we've discussed, has blue tools. All of his tools are blue. They are glass. He's got some complex tools too. Like there's not just knives and shit and just edgy.
Oh, there's
glass.
some silly shit.
scissors,
There's like a-
pliers made
there's
out
a
of glass.
Corkscrew dagger sword thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all not making any sense.
No.
And then, and to cauterize the wound, I think he pours some blue goo on her.
The blue
Blue
goo
glass.
is just ridiculous.
blue glass? What?
It's heated up blue glass.
That
What does
doesn't-
that do?
can't even be possible.
Apparently, it just burns the shit. I don't know.
I don't think it can't be.
I think it was just
That's
like
too hot. Have you ever
iodine.
seen glass? How hot you have to get it, and then it just globs. It doesn't even
Yeah.
run like liquid.
Well, I was just assuming that it was glass because It wasn't like it was in the Beastmaster where they put it over her neck and she became paralyzed and then they cut a baby out of her stomach and put it in the cow.
Oh, so everything's about the Beastmaster.
Beastmaster.
They ripped that off of the
Yeah,
Beastmaster.
I'm sure that Chris Seviston?
Sivitston,
Yeah, directed this movie based off of Beastmaster.
The
Not
blue-
anything by David Lynch or Brian De Palma.
Like, the blue is overwhelming and ridiculous. Like, okay, the color cues. I get it, buddy.
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
He's just, like, hitting you in the face with the 2x4 over and over again. And that was the one that broke me, was when he dumps the blue goo on her hand. Because at that point, you're just like, I get it. But now, what is that
Blue.
supposed to be? Like, you have gone so blue here that now there is no way to answer what that substance is or does.
Everybody has now taken themselves out of the movie because they're just going, what the fuck is... What?
What is that? Is
But
that
he
the
does-
stuff that you dump into, like, the slush
Drano.
puppy machine?
Or to clean your toilet with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also was wearing blue gloves. I just now remembered that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's blue everything.
Yeah, 2,000 flushes. That'll teach you for not playing piano, you bitch. I got the scrubbing bubbles right here. You thought it hurt before.
So the next time we see her, she's in a ditch. Some lady finds her. She's minus one leg and one hand. She's damaged.
She's Eileen.
Yeah.
She's Eileen.
She's Eileen.
It's a bad joke.
Mm.
Why didn't you alternate?
And a stripper, so come on, Eileen.
I
Nobody really...
I got it.
Come
I got
on,
it.
man.
I just wanted.
That's a decent joke.
Only in Portland, man. There's some weird shit that happens in that town.
So at this point in the film, her parents come in to visit her. You know, Aubrey. And I, at 28 minutes, have formed my theory. I am the first one to come up with a theory about who the killer is. And it shall be revealed later. But I just want to make note, at 28 minutes, I had a theory. So her parents are like, oh, Aubrey, you're going to be okay. I'm so sorry about what happened to you. And she's like, who the fuck is Aubrey? I'm not fucking Aubrey. Because now the F-bombs, the train of F-bombs and Tood have started to take a hold of
Yeah.
the Lohan. I'm
Now her
fucking
true
Dakota.
colors.
My name's not Aubrey. I'm fucking Dakota, you motherfucker. Fucking shit, fuck. Right? Did you
Well,
guys see this
basically.
movie?
Yeah.
You know, there's a point where she gets like lost in her character, where she forgets that she's in the movie sometimes, and she forgets whether or not she's Audrey or Dakota sometimes, because she says fucking a lot, and she says fuck, but then later when she sees the picture of her, not her at the beach when she's a kid,
Right.
she's like, it was like that, only I was wearing it was red.
Uh-huh.
And my mom brought me there to watch the friggin' garbage float. Like
Friggin'.
and she says it like Napoleon Dynamite. She's like,
Yeah.
why would you do that? Friggin' garbage float. And you're like, what movie are you in, jackass?
Do you suppose? Because I have a real problem with actresses and actors that like are not good at saying the F word. Like it's very forced. Do you suppose that the F word is in the script this much, or if they're just like, Lohan, do you?
I
just
think that
just feel the character and let it go.
I think there was a lot of freelancing, and that was a bad idea.
She stinks at the F word. Like, I started to be like, enough with the F word here, because you stink at it. Like, White Man Can't Jump has a lot of F words. I have no problem with White Man Can't Jump. I have a lot of problems with this film, with Lindsay Lohan saying, fucking fucker, fucky. Like, just so forced. And like, hey, guys, I'm saying fuck.
I
Look
am
at me.
tough.
Yeah, no, you suck.
But you didn't take your shirt off.
Yeah, but you didn't take your goddamn shirt off. So she tells the Strink that's now there to like figure her shit out, you know. Oh, why do you think you're this other person? Well, because let me tell you this story about my mom and shit.
You know what would have helped if they would have tried to play an angle on this, the way that things develop? If that psychiatrist wouldn't have just fucking disappeared like he did, that guy just fucking disappears after like 2 scenes. He comes in for a third, and then all of a sudden it was like, until just now, I was like, oh yeah, that guy just fucking disappeared.
Yeah, he writes delusional on his iPad and then across the top of her picture. And then that's the last time you see him, like, delusional.
Essentially all of the FBI just disappears at some
Oh
point.
yes, they do.
Yeah.
The gal and the guy come back for when she's running around the woods later looking for who killed me or her or whatever. they come back and you see him, and then the gal says to the guy something that doesn't make any sense, and then he just kind of harumps around him, and then they're gone forever.
You never see him again.
You never see him again. It's like, why did you bring him back for that?
Their plot line does not ever get closed.
Yeah, you wonder, one, why did they disappear out of the story of the film, and two, why did you only bring him back for that one little sequence there?
Why are they even in the film? Because they have nothing to contribute.
No, they
ever.
don't. They don't. The one,
Nothing.
the main FBI guy, he's an idiot.
Uh-huh.
And he just gets mad. He's angry cop, the FBI guy.
Right.
And he doesn't contribute anything except leading the guy who I thought was Brian Doyle Murray, the sheriff, into the line that everyone in the making of the movie regrets. Remember when the sheriff says something?
Yeah, it's his only line.
And you're like, "Oh boy, you should have kept that one away from him." You know, if he's only going to have one, you can cut that out.
Yeah.
Shoot it a couple times without him saying anything.
So the mom shows her a picture of a child, but as Sam discussed, everything's a little different. Friggin' different.
Friggin' garbage float.
The cops think the killer is going to come back for her, so they gotta protect her. And this is now I guess maybe this is why the cops are in the film, is because it's their theory that the killer is now going to get her. He knows that she's alive.
They're going to use her as bait.
Yeah, fine. Why the fuck does the killer give a fuck?
Yeah, no.
He doesn't care. Oh man, I'll let that one go. I'm not gonna, are you kidding me? I'm not gonna go hang myself. They know I'm coming. I'm not gonna ever go towards that girl again. I'm gonna go find another piece of street trash that I can hack up.
At the end, when we find out who the killer is or whatever, he says something that would have, had the things not played out the way they do, he would have gone after her. He has to kill her.
Why?
Because he's a serial killer. That's
the
the rule.
Bundy left people
Oh yeah, they all
alive.
leave fine.
Green
That's how you not
Green
get
River
caught.
Killer fucking left. Yeah, if you blow it, guess what? You never see him again.
Yeah.
You go find somebody else, buddy.
You got one chance
You
at
fucking
this.
retard. This guy's a fucking dickhead. This Blue Man Group killer.
Everybody in the movie's a dickhead.
Boy. So now she's relating some stripper story about, I've got this like...
This is where it almost breaks apart.
Almost? It hasn't broken apart yet?
At the end of this, like, side, like, they just start doing something else. It's a complete sidetrack. But it doesn't actually break from the diegetic of the movie. It's just a strange detraction and a very odd way to do it.
Yes, I see what you're saying. It's her dancing-ish. Her, Lohan's...
She has a flashback. And there's
it?
nothing.
Ugh.
Yes, it's a flashback.
Yeah, it's her. I guess
of
it is her flashback.
Dancing when Lohan, when you see her dancing and then her finger just falls off, and you're like, "Is this a dream?" This is after she bangs dude, right, Jackie?
No, this is before.
This is before she bangs him.
This is the introduction to her, like her backstory and like,
The one where her mom's dead and she has the envelope full of $11.
that was a little earlier in this, but now she gets two dance scenes back to back with different songs. This is the one where she takes the guy's cigarette, and I had to look this up because I may have read some reviews on the internet today. It is implied that she sticks that cigarette up her vag.
Yeah, that was what.
I thought she just rubbed it on her leg.
No, that was what I was saying.
That's why he smelled it
Yeah.
when she gave
Well,
it
it's
back.
close enough if
And
she's got that stanky of poon.
It doesn't matter whether it smells like vagina or baby powder. When you get it up and you sniff it, you know what it smells like? A burning cigarette.
Yeah, absolutely. So what kind of fucking strip club is this?
But this is also where we get introduced to my favorite character of this movie, which is the strip club manager / owner lady who's like ultra skinny and she's got a cigarette in her mouth the entire time. And you know, she's way past her prime, but she's still trying to look good.
Yeah.
And
her
she's
name is like
just
Fat Tina or something in the
credits.
Yeah.
But she's just like, she looks harsh. Like,
She's a total Stella.
yeah, she's like, eh.
Starla, not
Yeah,
Stella.
she's like, shit, your license says you're 21. Then it's good enough for me. You're 21. Exactly. Now go get some clothes on and so you can take them off.
Exactly. After that, she's leaving work at 3 a.m, headed for the bus. As we all noted, there would be no bus to pick her up at 3 a.m.
Well, maybe in New Salem. She's not in New Salem though. She's in nowhere land.
She's in nowhere land that doesn't exist, except for it's called L.A.
Yeah.
So the killer stalks her with teleportation powers that we never see again. I know it's not supposed to be teleportation powers. It's supposed to be arty. It fucking looks like teleportation.
What it is she's seeing through her other eyes. Her other's eyes.
No
yes.
way. Oh my god, that's so dumb.
Yeah, now that you say that, that makes sense. That's why he can be there and then he can be over there really quick.
Because she's actually she's experiencing transcendently.
Because they're both scared at the same time.
Yes.
But
trauma is faced both ways.
All right. Well, the movie has just solved another one of its own flaws. Good job, Chris
Severson. Nice job copying Doppelganger.
So then she's getting some dreams, and she's getting like it's still in the flashback. She's having some nightmares, and all of a sudden she starts bleeding from her elbow pit, and but it's real. No, wait, that doesn't make any fucking sense, because she's having that dream, she's got blood everywhere, and then Neil McDonough comes in, and he's like, what's happening to my daughter?
Yeah, she has stigmata on her stump arm.
The other one is getting stabbed.
The other one is...
Yeah, she's having stigmata from the other one.
Oh my god, this movie may be blowing my mind.
Yeah, blowing your mind. At this point, we're having to probably blow the bubble on.
Yeah, I'm getting too confused on who's Aubrey and who's Dakota.
Yeah, so they're twins.
Uh-huh.
And she has other powers with her twin.
Stigmata powers. They're linked, like Siamese twins that are separated at birth. They're not stigmata powers, though, because stigmata is
a totally religious and different, very
different
specifically
thing.
to the Christian religion.
Right, but when they look it up on the internet in this movie, it is called non-religious stigmata for identical twins. So one guy gets shot in a bar because he was a low-life piece of shit, and his brother, who was a cop, he was thousands of miles away in a totally different town, and they both had the exact same bullet hole mark, and they both died.
As told by internet sensation Art Bell.
Yeah. Oh, man. They needed more Art Bell in this thing. I could have just...
I did not
right
see
up.
Art Bell coming.
No one sees Art Bell coming. I perked right up when Art Bell was like, ooh, coast to coast.
He's like the Shadow.
Yeah, I wanted to turn the movie off and try to find old rebroadcasts of Coast to Coast with Art Bell.
What mysteries lie in the universe?
Art
Bell knows.
I don't want to alarm anyone, but right now, and not to alarm anyone, right now.
So, in the hospital, she gets I'm just going to read my notes. She gets a robot hand from Snoop Dogg.
She does. And the robot hand is the quickest way they can cover doing makeup.
Yeah, but it comes into play. Usually stuff like that doesn't... I know
they
you're
have to
absolutely
use it.
right.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't see it get used. It's just there to cover up the makeup.
They
This
gain
gets
benefit.
used.
They gain benefit from their own cheapness, but it is their own They couldn't afford to keep going the way they were going, so she got a robot hand that they could cover up with a kitchen glove so that she can just be Lindsay Lohan again, and that's it. That other shit was too expensive.
They sprayed it with flesh-colored paint to make it look like a hand instead of just a cleaning glove.
It's real nice.
So she gets released. She goes back home. She's adapting to the life as one of the Flemings. She still doesn't buy it that she's not Dakota Moss. Jared stops by, and he there you go. He crushes. They shake hands.
She uses her robot hand to crush it.
You're hurting me.
I think it's great that it's not just a robot hand, it's a super strong robot.
Yeah, of course.
Could you imagine her giving a handy with that thing?
Well, here's the deal. If I had a robot hand, you better believe I would juice the shit out of that thing. Is there a limit? Or would you like to make it natural human strength? Fuck no, I don't want to make it natural human strength. I want that thing to be strong as shit.
The battery's only going to last 30 minutes. Can I crush your head like a cantaloupe? Probably. Well, 30 minutes it is.
Yep. Can we do 15? What's the limit?
What
on
else
this thing?
do we got here? Yeah.
I'll just sit by the plug-in all day.
Do you think there was a point where they're making the movie and they're talking about the script and somebody's like, well, robot hand with super strength isn't really realistic, and everybody turns and goes, robot hand, Jim. We don't have those yet.
It's 2007, dickhead. You're about 8 years off from that butthole.
The robot hand was so stupid.
It's
he's
so dumb.
Here's your robot hand. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. Robot hand.
But the robot leg was even worse, because why in the fuck would you have a robot leg?
Well, I thought the leg was just a normal.
No, it was a robot leg that had a battery, even though prosthetics
Oh, that's
work
right.
without
It
battery.
did have a battery.
Yeah.
The battery in the robot leg doesn't work as well.
What's the leg do?
It walks.
Yeah, it walks.
It just makes robotic sounds because
Apparently.
a fucking peg leg will walk. What does
Well-
it do that a peg leg doesn't have?
It walks like your normal leg versus like you have to get used to a prosthetic where you're using the spring basically, but your normal leg pushes and things like that, which this robot leg did. And it had an indicator of battery life on the ankle, which is very convenient.
Brother. So, anyways, Jared's there.
Oh, brother, but robot hand. Fucking awesome.
Hey, Jared. Hey. They start just making out of nowhere. And it's like full on hardcore making out. And mom comes in and busts them. We're gonna go upstairs and bang. Clearly bang. Like mom has to know, wait a minute. You can't, so they go upstairs and they bang.
She's just testing boundaries.
And she can hear them moaning and screaming, and she's downstairs cleaning the kitchen
I
sink.
never knew it could be like this, Stumpy. Then it's, come on, Eileen.
Oh,
'Cause
boy.
he likes
He did it. Yeah, well, he used a condom.
Yeah. Oh.
He would have
Yeah.
had he not exercised safe sex, which is the smart thing to do, kids.
Hey, you wrap that up. Wear a
Yeah.
raincoat. Otherwise, well.
Well, there's plenty of things that can happen, and none of them are good.
I was going to say you could give birth to a Lohan.
Hmm.
So the mom hears it all. She's like, oh, this is just not it. I just don't like this. I'm just going to clean harder. Is this supposed to be comedy?
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to be comedy, but that was when we were watching it. We were talking about that. I was like, she's not going to take her shirt off, so you can't really get your miles out of that. But then you could get some miles out of the comedy that you're not really performing well, and they just didn't do either one.
Yeah. Cut it. So she's smoking after sex. Oh, she's so hardcore. She's totally not Aubrey. He's like, oh, I don't know about this. Bleh.
She's like, has Aubrey ever fucked you like that?
Yeah.
He's like, she's like, has Aubrey ever fucked you? And he was like, no.
Pretty good for a first timer, though. He
Yeah.
really gave it.
Well,
gave it
who's
the old
to say that
college
was
try.
his first time?
Well,
He just
I
didn't.
don't know. What's he doing palling
he's
around
the-
with Aubrey if she's not putting out, huh?
Conquests, my friend. He's the quarterback.
Uh-huh. Mm.
One a week.
She's
you're
the nerdy girl in school that comes down the stairs after a makeover, and then she's the most popular girl. After
No,
that.
she was just the most popular girl. She won.
That's never had sex.
No, she may or may not have had sex.
She's never had sex. Well,
With
she's never had
him?
sex with him.
He wasn't
He's
her
the most
boyfriend.
popular guy. She's the most popular girl.
She had decided to go out with him on the night that she was abducted. That's what happened. That's what she was trying to catch up with him and be like,
So they would have banged that night.
probably.
Yeah. Then
So he's just making up for lost time, really. I mean, he doesn't give a shit about her. He's like, I got to take this opportunity while it's
He's-
coming.
got blue balls. Blue, the color of evil. So, anyway, she takes a shower, and her fingers start falling off in the shower.
No, she rolls over and starts having a flashback.
Is that what she...
Yes.
Yes.
I thought she went to, like, have the post-sex
And
shower.
this is the part, because she has both hands all of a sudden in her post-sex shower.
That was a plot flaw!
No, so what
No.
happens is she has a flashback, because it cuts back to after this. There's no way to know that it's a flashback until it cuts back to them still in bed, and you're like, was that a... And then,
yeah,
two
they're-
scenes
okay.
later,
Yeah, you're right.
things
They're
start
still
to
in bed.
work themselves out, and you're like, oh, that was a flashback.
Yeah, so
that
it's
was a
another
really shitty flashback.
Dancing flashback. She's in the dressing room. She takes her gloves off, and her finger falls out of the gloves.
Yep.
It's rotted.
Yeah. So Jared distracts the FBI after the flashback is over with some rubber talk and sneaks her out. Sneaks her out of the house because the FBI is staking out her house in case the killer comes back, I guess.
Right. So she gets in the trunk of her Lexus and he drives off.
It's not the first time
It's
she's been
actually her dad's Lexus, her not dad's Lexus.
there. Are you sure? Yeah,
Oh no, it's somebody's Lexus.
It's
It's not
somebody.
her Lexus
Yeah,
because
it's
she's
not her
not
Lexus,
Aubrey.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
So she visits the other girl's parents, the one that was all chopped up and found, and
That was drowned.
yeah, whose room is also filled with blue. We should make note of.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, we must make another claim for victory. At 1 hour and 8 minutes, Jackie has formed her theory of who the killer is.
Mm-hmm.
Which is when they give the real clue, isn't it?
I think it is the real clue.
Yeah.
So the cops find a story called Dakota by Aubrey, and it's on Aubrey's computer in her bedroom.
Yeah.
But the Dakota by Aubrey was on Dad's computer
Dad's
that
computer.
they took Meanwhile, Aubrey's computer's still in her fucking
The
bedroom.
FBI has no interest in that computer whatsoever.
But why is Aubrey writing stories on her dad's computer?
Or maybe he needed to like proofread it or something.
Oh, maybe.
He has an
like
office where he
Google
drinks
Drive,
scotch. He
yeah.
probably knows a lot about writing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to make some generalizations with this
Yeah,
film.
fair enough. So she figures out that she better look up stigmata on her computer. And that's when we get the Art Bell business. She reveals to her mother that she thinks she's a twin. Dun, dun, dun. The mother's like, no, here's your ultrasound. See, look, there's only one of you. You're Dakota. You're Aubrey.
This
Which
is
one
when
are
we
you?
started to question the science of the movie. But it holds up as the ultrasound existed several years before this.
Yeah, mid-'80s. Rich people could only afford it. And it was poor quality, but in the later 80s, it started cleaning up.
But you know what I bet they wouldn't have had is a video of your...
They probably wouldn't have had a video.
They probably
of that.
wouldn't have had a video of Lindsay Lohan. Like, someone who was born in 1986 wouldn't have been able to get a video to bring home of their ultrasound, I bet.
Probably not. What would they put that on? VHS? No.
Yeah, no,
Betamax? No.
Damn your science movie.
Yeah. It should be noted, at 1 hour and 17 minutes, Sam has formulated his theory.
My theory is not real.
I wasn't sure that your theory wasn't real.
Well, in a certain way, you were obviously visibly confused by what was happening because when I said what I said, you were like, well, "I'm not going to dispute that."
So she's back in her bedroom and she's looking around, or Aubrey's bedroom, Dakota is, and she's looking around. She sees this trophy and it's like, oh, I got to get that trophy. And so she reaches up and she can't quite get it. She's on the chair and cat runs around. And then all of a sudden she looks in the mirror and there's a vision in the mirror. And it's this girl getting smacked upside the head with a shovel or something. I don't know.
And she's maybe going to get buried alive.
Yeah, so yeah. So then some flower petals floated from
Into the mirror from the
Roses on her
So,
desk.
Is that real?
her other.
I
power?
get that.
Yeah.
What? Being able to
That's
teleport
that's
flowers into a mirror?
That's just hallucination that comes with other vision, I think.
God damn it.
But she has other vision.
Well, she confronts her dad about the twin theory, and he's like, no. She's like, you gotta tell the truth, Dad. There was two of us. You pawned one of us off onto a crack whore.
Which he's not their dad.
No.
No.
So what has happened is that their baby died.
Yes.
And his wife wouldn't be able to take it. So he went down to the crack whore
He
down the
went
hall and
one
took
door
one
down.
He stole two babies?
No, he bought
stole
one off of her.
Yeah, he bought a baby from her because she
Oh.
had twins. And then that's why the New Salem postmark was in their dead mother's hand.
Oh, yeah, he's
because
paying her.
he's been sending money this whole
$11
time.
at a time.
Yeah,
Big
$11.
spender. Hey, man, crack is whack, so it's cheap. That's what old Whitney said. If it's not good enough for Whitney, it's not good enough for Lohan. So Dakota lost her arms while Aubrey died, and that's pretty much been established. They go to a cemetery.
Yes.
This does not pay off. I've got a note here that her leg battery is low. Does that pay off?
Yeah, when she's outside and she's looking for the burial site that she saw in the mirror,
Okay.
her leg starts blinking. She starts dragging it behind her because her bat.
So-
Yeah,
the
it
life
slows
on
her. Oh, it does. It slows her down later.
Yeah,
Like, barely.
Yeah, it's
She
not
gets the
much
job
of a.
done.
It's not
Lame.
much of a deal.
All right. So the dad's also at the cemetery. They dig up a coffin. It's blue. Oh, neat.
they don't
This
dig
is-
up a coffin.
No, they
One
don't
of-
dig off. She sees a vision of a blue coffin, but it's Jennifer Toland, the other girl's
Yes.
grave that she ends up at.
And she
Right.
sees the blue ribbon.
Right.
And this is
From the Young Artist Award.
I think, the most important part of the movie. Because this is when she turns to not her dad and says, I know who killed me. 1, you don't know who it is. You have a clue.
Okay, sure.
2, you are not dead.
You are not dead.
So
no.
you have not been killed, nor has your twin been killed. Otherwise, you would also be dead.
That is correct.
So I know who killed me is the name of the movie, but in context makes no sense whatsoever.
Absolutely. It's very astute, Sam. I couldn't agree more. So she's like, I know who it is. So they go to this house, and we know who it is, but we don't know by the rules of the film and the story. It's just some house. They're going to the house, and it's the killer's house. She goes into the cellar. He goes upstairs. She finds the blue tools.
You know what they don't do?
What?
Call the fucking FBI.
They don't call the FBI. She's got no proof, man.
Those
stigmata according to Art Bell, so it's that guy.
those jackasses would jump at a grasshopper that has a heart on.
That's true. So she finds the blue tools. She's attacked. He tears her robot hand off. Or no, she robot hands his
him.
hand off.
And then she grabs it
crushes
and uses one of his own tools against him and slowly cuts his arm off.
Yeah.
His hand
She's
from the wrist.
tough as balls all of a sudden.
Well, if you got a robot hand, you got the grip.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, juice that thing up.
It probably would have just, in real life, just pops right off. But I can't say in real life because it's a fucking robot hand.
Yeah, it's a robot hand. Doesn't exist in 2007. So she keeps looking around because apparently he runs off. Ah! There's prosthetics, legs all over the ceiling. She finds not her dad, who has died of undetermined wounds.
Possible wounds.
I'll always love you, Aubrey. You're Aubrey, right? Yes, I am, Dada. Whatever. So Killer pulls her hand off and smacks her with it. Jumps out of nowhere, as Sam said.
Yep.
I like that. She gets knocked out. He goes upstairs and plays the piano poorly. And then we realize it's the pianist teacher. Well, we're supposed to realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's tied up. He's got his hand on ice. She gets loose. She stabs him in the dick and neck with his tools.
He dies.
He dies. She wanders into the forest with a shovel. She hears an owl, like, oh, where is it? Where is it? And then she hears an owl because she heard an owl in her fucking mirror.
It was in the story, too.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous. That owl was some real convenient shit.
Yeah. So she starts digging. She
Very
digs up her
Twin Peaks.
sister,
Yeah.
smashes the glass into her sister's face.
Which is okay.
But she's okay. They cuddle. Film.
Yep.
Turd.
Bad.
Bad movie.
So,
Deliver.
question one.
Oh, bring them.
I've got like 9 questions.
I've got.
So question
6.
1, the credits roll. If
Uh-huh.
they didn't, they lay there for a little bit. Is the first thing that Dakota says to Aubrey, she just slowly looks up and goes, I'm sorry, but I banged your boyfriend.
Yeah, exactly. Or, hi.
Did you feel that?
She would have felt it, wouldn't she, by the rules of the film?
Like the Corsican brothers with Tommy or Cheech and Chong. Have you seen that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're playing off. It's like a horror of the Corsican brothers.
Yeah,
which
but
is much more fun.
here's the whole problem with what happens is Aubrey is like, you're my sister because they snuggle, but Aubrey doesn't know that she even has a sister. Dakota doesn't just inherently know that she's got a sister because of the twin powers. She has to go through this discovery journey to figure out that she has a sister.
At the same time, what's she really going to do other than cuddle? She got buried alive.
Couldn't she just be like, I am your sister. We killed the guy that did this.
She's going to lay there
Let's
and
get
go,
you to the
you know
hospital."
what? I've got some questions here, but I'll wait a second. This lady who just rescued me from certain death seems like tired, and I'm going to let her lay here for a minute. And then when she does that, the other one looks up and goes, I banged your boyfriend.
Meanwhile, they both die of exposure.
Okay.
Jackie, what's your theory about what happens after the film's over? Because that's my main question. Now what?
They end up dying there because the one now has gangrene because they laid there for too long. And it just slowly just infects her arm and they both die in a hospital together.
Yeah, I think I have no problem with them both dying there, like idiots.
Yeah, they might both die there. Who knows?
All right.
I
Jackie,
know. I think that she looks up and says, I banged your boyfriend, and then the other one says nothing.
she goes, I know. It was hot.
It was hot.
While I was getting stabbensed,
Yeah.
my beef got really warm.
Yeah. And then they get out of there. They leave. They go inside and make sandos.
Jackie, what's your question? What's up?
What's with the lawn guy?
What's with the lawn guy?
The guy from A Space Above and Beyond who disappears, like so many other things.
Yeah, like she's all
The
giving him.
cat.
The cat.
Yeah, she's giving him the business when she's playing piano. He distracts her. She's giving him the little come up and smile, you know. And then she gets out of the car and she's putting out the vibe and he's putting out the vibe and then she flips him off and then that's the last time we
Is
see
he
him.
just a red herring?
So yes, that's what I'm saying. This is what's with the psychiatrist and the lawn guy is their red herrings.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So poorly done that one can then go, well, they also left the cat disappears. And when you just disappear these red herrings, then things like the cat get caught up. Like, what happened? Was the cat a possible killer?
We should announce our convictions at 28 minutes. I chose incorrectly. I thought that it was Neil McDonough, her not father. At 1 hour and 18 minutes, Jackie was spot
8 minutes,
on. Oh,
8
8
minutes.
minutes. Jackie was spot on, claimed it was the piano guy because of her reaching for a fucking trophy.
Yeah, the
in
blue ribbon.
Yeah. Sam, at 1 hour 17 minutes, claimed it was the cat.
Because the cat had disappeared. Why wouldn't it be the cat, the psychiatrist, or the lawn man?
Yeah,
not?
They
because
disappeared.
Yeah.
she even says, I don't like cats.
Because
Dakota
the-
does not like cats.
Yeah.
The piano player also disappeared until the end. So, like,
Ugh.
it was, don't disappear the cat next time you make them, because you're going to get it cut up with these other possible killers. You're going to confuse people. Like, well, they got robot hands, so maybe that cat could be the killer.
Maybe.
I think my most obvious question is, what's the deal with the colors?
That was my next question, too. What's with the blue?
Because they're blue ribbon winners.
So fucking what? So their walls are blue, their clothes are blue,
Everything's blue.
everything's blue. Dakota only wears red. And she on the
she's
beach.
not a blue
one of
ribbon.
them's wearing
Yeah.
blue, one of them's wearing fucking red.
It was
the
overdone.
Killer's got blue tools and blue eyes on Neil McDonough.
Well,
and
the blue eyes on Neil. It was
blue
overdone.
cars,
Yeah.
blue shirts, blue.
I couldn't get what was going on with the yellow.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
Jared's car was yellow.
His shirt was yellow in the first scene too.
I
He's
don't know.
yellow, which
Maybe
is neutral, I guess.
Yeah, neutral.
He's the neutral party. So,
He's-
and she's the.
He's a coward, maybe, because he
No, I don't know. He's just neutral. I don't
like
know.
scared of banging.
He wasn't.
He wasn't. He seemed to.
He banged an amputee. That kid knows how to get down.
Yeah.
It was overdone.
My only theory is that the guy, this Chris Sisterson,
Severson.
really thought that he was gonna like M. Night Shyamalan his way into like fame. And if you want to get your way there,
Stab us in the eyes with it, buddy.
don't fucking like I'm gonna be famous by doing what M. Night did. That's about the stupidest fucking thing that you could
So,
ever
Is,
fucking
is
do.
that who did The Sixth Sense?
Yes, with
Yeah.
all
red?
the red.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
red's a clue.
But that
and
was
everything.
really subtly
really
done, though.
subtle, and
It
it's
isn't when
relevant.
you watch an M. Night Shyamalan movie again. It's like getting hit in the fucking face with a
It
2x4.
is, but at the time, it's not like this.
No, this is
This is out of control.
this isn't color cues. This is color yelling.
Yeah.
Ah!
Next, Sam.
What happened to Neil McDonald's character?
The only thing I can come up with is that he got stabbed in the back and we couldn't see any blood out.
I haven't answered Jackie.
He got stabbed in the penis. Seems to be a popular theme in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Penis stabbing.
To further what happens after the end of the movie when they're laying there, and then she's like, I banged your boyfriend. And she's like, I know, I was hot.
I banged your dad.
How are we
That's
going
your
to
dad.
get out of
Ah!
here? Well, it's really neither one of our dads, and that's not here nor there. How do we get out of here? And then Neil McDonald walks up kind of drunk and is like, you guys ready to leave? And like, I thought you were dead. He's like, no, I just drank way too much scotch before I came here, and I passed out in that tub of blood. It was like it was the most comfortable thing I could find. It was all just like rocks and concrete and knives, and it's like, well, I guess I will just pass out here. I just need to rest my eyes for a second.
Trust me, I've done crazier things in college.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a decent theory. I didn't really get him dying. He just...
Yeah.
Jackie?
Why did they have to put the sex scene in with the amputee?
Because they had to show that, oh, she's edgy and naughty now. She's totally not this princess.
Who said that she
Cream
banged
puff.
everybody at the beginning of the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it also bothered me. I'm going to burn my last one here. What's with the no boobs?
Yeah, the no boobs is stupid. She had a no nudity clause. Because I guess she was still a good girl.
I don't
On
know
film?
if that was something that she had a lot to do with.
Why wouldn't, like,
I think
at
that
this
there was
point in time,
probably-
everybody wanted to see her cans,
yeah,
dude.
and I think there was and I don't know. I'm not. This is again just a theory that I'm having myself. I think that Disney does a lot of we made you. You are gonna abide by these rules even after you leave us.
Until they get to a certain point where they're just too apeshit, and then just Disney just cuts them off completely.
Cuts them off, and then you can
Then
do whatever.
They get the cans out.
She still hasn't, has she?
Yeah, she did. She's done it a couple times.
All
She was
right.
naked in Machete.
She was?
Yeah.
No, that was Amber Heard.
Yeah, that was Lindsey Lohan. Look it up, dude.
No,
Yeah.
all right, whatever.
She was also apparently naked in some
Oh, yeah, she
movie,
was
The
naked in-
Canyons. That's apparently
With
would have been a SMAPFA contender, but it came out in 2013.
yeah, and
Mm.
it's just I don't know if it's even a movie.
Oh, and she's done a bunch of like
Yeah,
magazine
she's-
shoots.
yeah,
and stuff.
she did- okay,
she's
so
naked
well-
all over the place. What's the killer's goddamn motive?
Punishment for not wanting to be a music star anymore.
For not taking.
So-
See, I have a piggyback question off this, but
That's
they,
it.
the FBI girl
You turn
says
him
that
down from pianisting, and he will kill you.
yes,
Yeah,
That's
because
it.
Well, and she says it's a punishment.
He's
because
got all this complex materials and equipment and a murder fucking room. I have seen Dexter. It takes some planning, and this guy is a fucking pro at this shit.
Right. He cuts off their pedal foot, and he cuts off their hand so that they cannot, so they can no longer play the piano.
So what happens if nobody ever fucking quits the piano? It just
here's
shit goes on perfectly. What if you're like 50 and you're like, you know what? I don't want to come in for piano lessons anymore. I'm not fucking 16, asshole.
That leads to my question, my last two questions. So does he have to do this every year when everyone that he tutors, except for the one, doesn't win the young artist award?
Or
yes, he does. That's why he has so many legs. Very poorly communicated through the making of the film.
Why would he have so many legs?
Question 2.
What's he doing with the legs?
The legs are a bad trophy for it, because you don't kill them and then make them have a prosthetic leg and then walk around and then go, I need a new prosthetic leg for this one. Very poorly, that's what they were trying to do. And 2,
at no
does
point
the
would
FBI
his victims have prosthetic legs.
No!
If everything goes properly.
So why are there so many legs hanging there when this is the only thing they could be trying to say is this? And they're just doing it very poorly.
That's the shittiest thing I've ever heard of. Like, that's Wicker Man bad.
Yeah, that's my last
really
two questions.
Fucking dumb.
What's with all the legs? Does he do this every year? And does the FBI ever figure it out? Yes, that's what's with all the legs. And no, the FBI never fucking figures it out.
Awful.
Awful.
Real bad. I'm out. You just eliminated like the last 3 of my questions with this killer motive business. So what else you got? Anybody?
That was the last 3 questions I had, other than $11, really?
$11 a month.
Because I think that the envelope was open, so maybe she spent everything but $11 on the heroin that she overdosed on.
Yeah, could be. How do we call this film? Do we pass this on to others?
It's not so terrible.
It's not, but I would rather just go back and watch Doppelganger or Body Double. But those aren't really that bad.
Yeah.
In terms of a bad movie, for a non-horror thriller, this is actually, I had a good time making fun of it because it was just so goddamn bad.
I kind of liked it.
I kind of liked it too.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, and I shouldn't have. This
No,
is exactly
it
the
is
type
awful.
of crap that I fucking hate, because here's the deal. You go see horror movies now, and they're all this.
Yeah.
They are just as stupid as this thing, but there's a little bit of like...
This one doesn't realize how stupid it is.
Yeah, exactly. And
It's
Lohan's
trying.
so bad in it that it's kind of enjoyable. And then when the whole reveal happens, you're just like hitting yourself in the head like, oh my god, so dumb. So yeah, I'm gonna say if you like bad films, not good bad films, but if you like riffing on bad movies, this is in your wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not... I thought it was somewhat entertaining because, the story moves fast
It does
enough
move, yeah.
It moves.
that you don't get that sense of, oh, come on,
Other
get
than
on
the
with
strip
it.
scenes. The strip scenes
Yeah, the strip scenes are
fucking
stupid.
terrible.
But, those should have been the best part of the movie, but they weren't. But, just the pacing of the movie was good too. And so I enjoyed it. I say do it.
Yeah, I say do it.
I say do it as well, and I have another separate reason to say do it. Because in terms of the movies that have really just piled on the Razzies, I've seen Battlefield Earth. And I would watch this 10 times
Catwoman.
before watching Battlefield Earth again.
I would watch this 100 times over Catwoman.
Catwoman didn't win as many Razzies, I thought.
It won 7.
Yeah, but the other one that beat this is Jack and Jill with Adam Sandler, and I'm still fucking afraid of that thing.
I'm very afraid of that film. But, this was a good time. I got a kick out of it. Really dumb. I'm glad that we talked about it and figured out some things again, because it's kind of like Wicker Man, where you're like, oh, that's really dumb.
It's really dumb. Except we never figured out what was in that bag.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't a shark.
Probably not a shark. Anyways, it's my pick next time in tribute to the late and great Rowdy Roddy Piper. I will be choosing Hell Comes to Frogtown. So in the meantime, get to the chopper.
Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.